Alright. Hello and welcome back to Danganronpa here. Let's set our skills. We got something from, Toko. Vocabulary? Ooh. We need that. That seems really useful. Probably need that. Because mainly we need that for during the bullet time battles. When they go to the nega time, that we encounter with our own fever time. Is that needed? Probably not, but it's only worth 2. I could do this. Yeah, but then we get rid of Heroes things. I mean, I guess that's fine. Yeah, alright. Let's do it. Let's just do the class trial of who killed Mercuro, or whatever her name is.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then,
Alright.
let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
Seriously?
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost!
Oh boy.
She has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because
Are we seriously doing this?
it's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
There's a limit to how
Okay.
much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Yes.
Okay.
Advocuya.
So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Well, the dead body's dead, and Kyoko's over there.
Her traits?
There, we've done it. Alright, so all I just gotta do with like her,
I got it!
I'll say nails, so I'll take
I'm
gloves.
talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
We do,
In
right?
fact, Monokuma told me.
Okay.
Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
I feel like there's more to it than just that, but I really don't know.
Oh, you know, now
I guess
that
they could
think
be-
about it,
I
the
don't know.
corpse wasn't wearing any gloves,
Mostly like
right?
burn marks or whatever.
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion.
Are we seriously
I'm
still
not
doing
convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
Oh, okay. There's no way that corpse is Kyoko, because Kyoko's literally over there. Oh, alright. Oh, fake nails, okay. Wait, tattoo in the right hand?
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Because either gonna be the tattoo,
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
proves not
The
Kyoko,
dead body
or
wasn't wearing
or
gloves.
They got burnt up in the
Because she had
explosion.
nails on.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well,
couldn't
yeah,
have.
she must have been wearing.
No.
Because
Fake
that
nails,
corpse is
no.
absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
It is. I agree with you.
That Kyoko there is just.
Just impossible.
Okay, then prove it.
The dead body wasn't wearing
I'm
Shoot!
just actually here. Alright.
Kyoko there is just a goat.
Impossible. Okay, then prove it.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
I need to shoot that? Well,
Then she was wearing gloves before the
I
explosion.
just shoot ability already, even though it's
Well,
13-minute
she
time
must have
limit.
been.
No,
There we
it's
go.
wrong.
Oh, we took strike for literally stupidity reasons, but
No,
oh well.
there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember?
They also have a
I imagine
a
trying to
wolf
wear
or
gloves
a
over
dog
nails
on
like
their arm
that
with their hand.
would have been a pretty big pain. Besides,
I don't think
Kyoko
Kirigiri
wears
does.
gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands
That is also
to
true.
wear fake nails. Don't you?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which was painfully
Which should
obvious
have
at the
been
very beginning.
obvious since she's standing right here.
Thank you, Bakuya.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
For anything, we need to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Sprinkler's tattoo. A tattoo.
If Kyoko
It's never the
really
middle one.
is still
I've
alive,
noticed.
then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well,
Right.
if we can't identify the body...
No, that's wrong. There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Did no one investigate the crime scene inside
An
of
unusual
Bakuya?
death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Yes, obviously.
Seriously?
You bust this
You
case
really did
wide
something
open.
that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that
Yeah,
tattoo.
so they're or whatever.
Really?
There it is, yeah. The Fenrir tattoo.
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military
Fenrir,
group
okay.
Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
The image that represents Fenrir is... Oh, I don't know how to spell this. Oh. Okay, I don't spell wolf. I don't spell Ragnarok or whatever. Did we really get Hangman's Gambit for
Now I understand.
the word wolf? Where you gave me
The
two of the
representation of
letters.
Fenrir is a wolf.
Alright, whatever.
Fenrir, the wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. Then that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Man, I wonder who could have killed her. Do you have any ideas about Shiva?
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you
Kyoko.
told Makoto, right?
Yeah?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
I mean, not necessarily.
Who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time, and when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna just, randomly kill a character for no reason. I mean, you gotta have a whole class trial about it, and...
So you're saying
what?
she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
She's really confident
But
about
how
that.
can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
I mean, it's not
My
necessarily
information
wrong.
was not wrong.
Okay, okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation.
Yeah, watch out, Bakuya. He might turn into a
Now
monocub
then,
later.
just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
I mean, the classroom only fits 16
Nope.
people, so...
There are only
There
16
you go.
students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Yeah, it's... us and Kirigiri.
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko.
Which, I mean,
and-
technically,
right?
Toko, in going to the garden, could have killed Mukuro. Because, she wasn't accounted for like 30 seconds.
Why do you say that?
Which, I mean,
Allow
she
me
didn't,
to
but...
explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there.
And I guess technically he could have killed her there as well.
So,
but
the murder
take his
must
word
have
for it, I
taken
guess.
place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis...
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
Exactly so.
So only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it, I can't let this stand. So I gotta clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well,
this isn't the Phoenix
before
Wright
that,
game, so no.
I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at, well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd
Okay,
say it
so
must
he
have
was
been
in the
around
garden with
10
Byakuya.
o'clock.
Okay, so it couldn't be Byakuya,
So the
obviously.
murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Okay.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The
Well,
one who
9
saw the
o'clock.
body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Yeah. Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, we left the gym with just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 to the dot now. Okay, go get the pickaxe back out here by
He's
9:01.
right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me,
Right.
I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm
Right.
sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
We're at between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. I have an alibi between from 10 p.m. till 7:30 a.m. Okay then, looks like the game's begun. If I can't provide an alibi for that period, then I suppose the murder didn't happen during that time, and I don't have an alibi. So I have to make clear when the body ended up in the garden. Okay. So sprinklers come on at like 8:30.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more
Right.
than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
That's it? Okay. But something happened to the garden and yeah, it's sprinklers. I mean, I already know that.
We've established a time
So-
frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
No, that's wrong! Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later,
And what makes you say that?
because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on! I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet,
Yeah,
in
'cause it was on
fact.
fire.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words!
I mean, literally exact opposite is true, but... Jesus Christ.
I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean?
You were literally there! Oh, might be just like...
Denying the sprinkler? Are you trying to deny
no,
my
okay, never mind.
entire existence?
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
I proved that it wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet. Okay. No.
I
Already got
admit
this, okay?
nothing. No! Enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No!
Oh, I don't like this.
Enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I'm right about this. I admit
Oh, no.
nothing. No! Enough! How can you say it wasn't the—
This should prove it.
I thought there was gonna be more than one option, but I told LB and there's just that
Just
one bullet,
remember what the
so.
body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers.
And we're not unkind, we're on the medium difficulty.
The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry.
Yeah, Sir Mouth Down South was dry.
If the sprinklers got the
Jesus
body
Christ.
wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got
Very
the top
true.
wet?
Though,
The bottom was completely dry?
you could just cover the body with the charge I found instead.
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's one without an alibi, which means that Murkuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it.
I'd
Kyoko
just like to
Burstone,
say
that's-
one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone.
Which, we know that.
This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
The four of them do not, but yeah, that is absolutely true.
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh?
What was that?
She did?
Oh, right.
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair.
Yeah.
In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a
Yeah, no,
stop to
that's-
all this.
That's a
Isn't that
valid
right,
motive.
Kyoko? But
not
you
true,
made
it's a
one
valid motive.
catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Huh?
The
Yeah.
sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take was covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
Shouldn't this be your job to explain? You're accusing me. I mean, it's a tarp, but like, come on.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick.
Well, yeah, if you're saying
You're
I did
right.
it, then
All you'd
obviously I
have to
know
do
that
is
the tarp
cover the
covers
body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that.
can it?
Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water.
What?
The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean.
Would that not be the other way around? Because, like, you clean stuff with water, right? Like, what would be the point of the sprinklers if...
This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
'Cause I feel like the tarp wouldn't be clean on the side that it was... that there's a body on.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Well, if
Most
this guy's
likely
time
so they
murder.
could cloud the
Yeah.
issue of when the murder
But-
actually took place. In other words, to create an
side that
excuse
covers
exactly like the one
body
Makoto
is not
just
gonna
gave
be
us.
perfectly clean. Why would Kyoko say that? Why should one kill a killer? I don't know. Jeez, Makoto. You think that yet? Tarp is used like what Kyoko said. The tarp must have touched the body, right? Which means it should be dirty. But the body...
Wait, something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't remember about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everybody's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to repeat what Kyoko said. Body for the explosion, I guess?
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
Right.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing
mean-
down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
I remember the blood in the body hadn't dried yet. But Kuya warned us not to touch it to avoid getting any blood
By
on us.
covering the body
Okay.
with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless,
blood on
right?
it.
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Okay.
No, it's wrong.
But yeah, no, I guess that makes sense.
Actually,
the knife sticking out
one
of
side
it,
being clean is
would
pretty strange
the
if you
tarp
think
actually
about it.
touch the blood, but I don't know how heavy that tarp is. I assume it's pretty heavy, so it probably would just fold at the knife, and therefore it would get onto their fresh blood.
Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
So what? Water makes it dirty on one side, but makes the other side
If they
clean?
had, they would have washed
Sure.
both sides. Just washing the one
Also
side
very
wouldn't
true.
hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Oh yeah, like that LA Noir case with the train tracks.
What
The
if,
blood is
after the
camouflage.
killer
Yeah.
used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers,
They bought a live hog from a place, and then just smeared all of its blood all over the car, and that's how they're gonna fake
they
their own
then
death.
covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
Oh wait, wrong game, sorry.
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's
mean,
what
no.
Hifumi did, right? When he
No,
pretended...
It's
No,
possible, but it's not
that's
they did.
not what happened this time.
So,
The killer got the
Why
blood
would
from
we
right there
do
in the
this?
garden.
it's a chicken, but I don't know why they would do this.
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
We're also killing... I mean, I guess technically we're not, but...
I wonder if the
Whatever, doesn't
killer
matter.
had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway,
Okay.
there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body.
No, I agree with that, I guess.
But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
What? So you're saying that they killed a chicken and put its blood on the coat, that the chicken came from the scene? What? Why would you kill a chicken at the scene? Take it somewhere else. Put blood on the...
They covered it.
Sure, whatever.
When you
I'm not
discovered the
questioning.
body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so.
No, it was upside
No.
down.
The head was
Yeah.
through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Which, man, who would ever wear a jacket without putting the sleeves on? Yeah, I'm sure that'll never come up ever again in a Danganronpa game. It's like someone just wear one sleeve or anything. God, forget his name. It's not Makiro. Forget his name.
Sorry.
Oh, whatever,
I'm
doesn't
having
matter.
a tough time keeping
Different game.
What?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off,
Right.
but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp.
Sure.
Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted
Right.
us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to
Oh,
pull
yeah.
all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That's true. Okay.
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd
Okay.
be done in no time.
Maybe. But still,
How long does it take blood to dry?
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
It didn't teleport us, did it? It made us walk there.
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and
Huh.
Makoto didn't show up till later.
Yeah.
Then he had plenty of time to
Okay,
spare,
that's
wouldn't
not
you
great.
say?
Yeah, no, we would have.
that's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
That's a good
I
point.
must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
Yeah. And suspicion falls back on me again, but why? Is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand.
Well then,
Okay.
it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
And that's how we sign for playoff games now, so.
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No,
Yeah, I
not
would agree.
that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
It's the one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before.
Yeah,
That's what I thought
it's
when I
knife
first
Toko
saw
gave
it.
us.
I just remembered.
This is more important. Now we have the knife. What are we gonna do with it? Oh, we can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. So what to do? Why don't you keep it, Makoto? Huh, me?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
Yeah? I thought that was bloody obvious.
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought
Then
that was
why did
bloody
you hide
obvious.
that fact?
I mean... Are you hiding the fact you're wearing a black jacket?
It's not that I hid it. It's just...
It was bloody obvious. I couldn't be sure what actually happened last night. Though maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering that until now, I should be able to make it clear. I've provided murder one, not the killer.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was
Right.
afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
First steps, the coat was put on after the tarp was removed, which means the knife was thrust through the coat into the body.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
Well, we know the knife
Same
didn't
one we
kill
gave
her.
to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed.
No, that's wrong.
Right.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro.
I mean, technically it was a stab wound. Multiple stab
That
wounds.
should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember?
Did we not?
The killer covered the dead body with the tarp and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
But she wore the coat when she was in our room. I guess the fact that it wasn't bloodstains after she's dead.
Okay,
I
fine.
guess that's what
So
we're
what?
trying to say. Sure. Okay.
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body.
Right.
Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
No. Victim stabbed in the same spot twice, that's not possible. The exact conditions written in Monokuma
I
file.
got it! The
If she stabbed
Monokuma
once, and she
file
has a
clearly
billion cut
states
marks on
that there
her.
was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Then the knife.
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing.
Probably because that had all the stab wounds, even though
The explosion severely
Monokuma still put
damaged
that
the
in the
body,
Monokuma file. which
making it
is-
impossible to know what really
Interesting.
killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to
Right.
latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic-level spontaneous combustion!
Oh man, how
I might
did you
be
know?
dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Well, it was the Monokuma bomb. I mean, yeah, okay. Sure, know the bomb was gone. Okay.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Right.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute.
Which Toko could absolutely grab that bomb and plant it while she was getting the pickaxe.
They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine, I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
Which would ultimately kill the victim. I need to concentrate, okay. Right, so it's gonna be stab wounds.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
The knife was to cover up. All those other wounds on her body weren't fresh. Which only
Then,
leaves...
shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Yeah, she was already totally dead
Wait.
when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta gotta be it! There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her
Right,
entire
and that's
body.
how they died. The knife was a cover-up, and all of those other wounds in her body weren't fresh. Why does it matter if they're fresh? That's what killed her.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Well, it's not the explosion, we know that.
Yeah, she was already totally
She's
dead when
long
that
before the explosion
happened.
happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one
Obviously.
other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that,
But that doesn't...
the
We've already
victim
proven
had
it twice,
suffered
doesn't kill
countless
somebody.
wounds across her entire body.
You hit Sakia twice in the back of her head. She didn't care.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury had...
Why?
It's wrong.
That's not what killed her, though.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
No.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body?
Thank
They
you.
didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
But she's been dead for days.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then
Whatever.
we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then,
Sure.
what was the murder weapon? The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh! I bet it was the pickaxe!
Well, if you're using the pickaxe, you would use it as a pickaxe and not a
How
blunt
is that
object.
even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
I mean,
No way!
Sure.
The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power.
I feel like you
I
probably
wouldn't
would.
mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
Oh, she would.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground, and spit on it.
Alright, you're supposed to admit to that.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Alright, let's pause the
Seriously?
conversation.
We want to figure out what killed her,
Okay,
right?
whatever.
It just so happens we already know.
We
do?
already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
The real murder weapon. Well, I mean, I have, but it's not what you think it is. You said the arrows are bound together. I mean, nothing else is... Yeah, I mean, titanium. Because we know the titanium arrows aren't what actually gave her all the billion stab wounds. But... I mean, it's gotta be this. It's gotta be the arrows are bound together,
I got it!
and they were used as a pipe.
Mukuro was hit in the back
Which
of the head with
literally
something,
why.
and that's what killed her. And that something was The titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
An arrow? That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed.
Apparently.
There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
Yeah, there's no backtalk challenge in this game. This
I'm
isn't
not
before the score.
backtalking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
You're not Rihanna DeVries. Only here for doubting, because there's one more thing with that weapon. One more secret. Oh, well, duct tape, obviously.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
Right?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master! You have no right!
It's just that titanium arrow wouldn't be thick enough. I mean, yeah, we can always use
The
like duct tape,
titanium
but
arrow. It was
like
in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
which I mean,
you sure?
yeah, that's true. So it's gotta
You don't
be
sound convinced. What's the problem?
too thin. Is that a contradiction?
Because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just...
An arrow is too thin, but combine them together. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. If they combine them together into a pipe, that I
You're
guess would
right.
be a contradiction.
Just
okay.
the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the
Okay.
killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's
When
meant
did you
to
get
teach
confident?
cooperation.
Jeez.
That's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto?
But she couldn't have ever gotten into her room because you have her key.
What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer.
But she couldn't have gone.
You know
into her
what
own
will
room.
happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all. Remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
Well, it's the dojo key, but she couldn't have gotten back into her room.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
It doesn't.
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away,
But she
so
wanted
just
Makoto,
give
she could just
up.
put it in our room, because apparently she just
Hold
go in
on
her
a
room whenever she wants.
Not
Makoto's
this
not locked the
again.
bloody door.
You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there?
Wait,
That's what I need
how
to
did
know.
she get in our room? Everybody else is banging on the door, and well, I guess they never tried to handle. I guess that makes sense.
I was just protecting you.
What?
She was protecting me. Does that mean she knows me attacked? And she came to my rescue. Could that be when? Which means that Kirigiri, she killed someone
That's
for
enough.
me?
The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
No, we're
Wait.
just gonna start this trial.
I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone
You
I
should.
didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I
Yeah.
should know.
You should. It's in your pocket still. But you should know better than anyone. Was that? Oh, we just got her room key. When the body was... What?
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
No. Because Kyoko gave her room key to Kuya, right? Which would mean that
Those
she
words
could have
you
gone
just
back to her
spoke.
room.
What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you...
No, it's wrong. If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room
Right.
Why not?
because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
So the only that could have done it is, of course,
It would
Kuya.
appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. There's a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just said. An obvious lie. This just isn't like her. Oh, she has the key that opens every lock. Try to say for such a desperate lie. Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or something else? Was there a deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? If you go for me and I die here, the mystery of the school will be hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap that Mastermind's laid for us. Mastermind's trap? The Mastermind's trying to trap Kyoko, but what if that's not really true? The Mastermind's trap, the victim was Makoru, and Kyoko killed her. What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do here? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it, but who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The Mastermind's trap. You spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? Can I save? I can't save. What does this mean? I assume that means attack the lie? Let it go means let it go past or run away? Is I assume just run away, which I don't think would work here. Or is pursue let the lie... I can't save. Okay. Because my mind, pursue the lie means we're gonna continue following the lie. We're gonna, you know, let it happen, but then you've got let it go, which I assume means, you know, don't call out anything. So let's say this one, but hope not wrong. I've made a decision. Okay, good. Okay, we did it right. Good God. Okay. This is why she'd kill someone. That's just some secret. Something that has to do with the
Well,
mask trap that
does
Kyoko
no one
mentioned.
have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact?
I mean, it's true. She can't get into her room.
I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
The one with the key.
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
Yeah. Bakuya, Bakuya, whatever.
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the
I
entire
mean, you
time.
killed her 3 days ago. And... no.
I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the
You could
key in
have killed her,
Kyoko's
but
room.
you couldn't have disguised the body. You could have put the key in
Someone
her
had to
room
put
at
the
any
key
time.
in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
But you're not that blind, Bakuya.
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
I mean, there is, considering we think that a metal pipe killed, Merc Girl, or whatever her name is, rather than, you know, the thousands of stab wounds,
A
but
hidden
alright.
side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all
Yeah.
see it, don't you?
Yeah. We see that,
Mukuro,
Bakuya.
who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Wait, we're 60 minutes in.
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time.
Yeah,
So
by 10
then,
minutes.
it's time for
It's a-
voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
So what happens if we split here? What if we do 3 Kirigiri and 3 Makoto? Well, that was a short trial.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Well, I still don't vote for us here. Yay! Woo! What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man. Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault. Well, you're wrong. No, wrong, I didn't do it. Good job, everyone.
Yep.
Good job. Yeah, they got it right. No, I don't think that's true. That makes any sense. How does make any sense? It makes perfect sense. It's the same result as always. Just like in the other class trials.
Thrills, chills, kills!
It's every heart pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I...
I don't
Kyoko?
expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
I do not remember that trial being that short. I guess all the trials in this game are short compared to like the next two games, but after school lesson. Hey, alter ego! Alright.
What?
What's this? What's going on? Hey, what's that? Yeah, it had to be.
This is...
Alter ego? Alter ego? He's that stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planned it when he made my network. Damn it all to hell, I don't believe this. It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning. What was that? What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. You talk like you've already won. I barely felt a thing. It felt like a pinch, an inch. This virus is gone now, got it? It says Makoto. Man, it's not flat, but he's never seen again. To waste away in a garbage stupid, in a way, that's even better special punishment. But still, that's not enough. I'm not satisfied. I'm gonna bring this around the rest of you. Bring this to the entire world. Is he gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell's
Calm
going on
down.
here? It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time.
In other words,
And now it's the mastermind's turn to be ensnared.
What did you say?
That's ensnared. What are you talking about? You'll all understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. Alright. The massive high school building that towers over all other buildings in this... Why are we at the beginning of the game? It brings top students from every field imaginable. What? why are we here again? There are two things you need to attend this school. One, you need to be able to attend high school. Two, you need to be the very best at what you do. No one's going to enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It would be weird for me to knock off middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing to sleep here just now? It wasn't any class I've ever been before. What the heck's going on? Finally, I could feel my mind and body start to come together again, and then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream-sad hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I can tell, because the stench invading my nostrils is too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash piled up high across the area. This was some kind of underground garbage pit. Heck situation to find myself in. But that's just beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after my good friend went to save me. I remember all too well what happened. Altigo saved me. He's up the last little bit of the strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and my friend. And with that, my pursuit to survival began. First start looking for a way out here. Well, I mean, there's a door here. It's locked. Around times I pushed, pulled, kicked, it didn't budge. It's gonna be that easy. Well, forget our time soon. I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. That was pointless too. Next, search for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink, and which ones are an all-around bad idea? And again, pointless. I felt like I'm blocked in all sides. But that's still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left, after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed, and all I did was sleep. And sleep, it was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign, not exactly. It was a kirigiri. Huh? What the? A strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled around in an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from above. What could it have been? I carefully stretched my hand out towards whatever it was that had trembled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew it was.
It smells awful.
Why do you have ramen on your head, really? Whatever.
Indeed.
Kyoko. You look like you're doing a lot better than I expected.
So...
What are you doing here? Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You got a piece of, ramen noodles in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, and then faced me again. First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We'll talk once you're finished. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth, and makes my way down to my stomach. That really hit the spot. I got all the energy I need to keep going. So, you still haven't given up then? No, of course not. After all, the fact that I keep going forward is about all I'm good at. Well, it's not such a bad thing to be good at. But Kyoko, why'd you come here to rescue me? To pay a debt, or no, to atone.
You...
Atone? During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So, you knew that I
Indeed.
knew? But even though I knew, I had nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that, you didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the
However-
same for you. But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason I'd survive, no matter the cost.
It's true.
Why just survive? I'll tell you everything.
In
The reason
other
I
words,
survive is so that I can do what I came to school to do. What? I made up my mind to compose the academy for one very important reason. So, you have some reason to come to
Indeed.
Thomas Peak? That's right. At least, I did. Once. But once. Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot, but that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory, that's impossible. Amnesia? Then it's really true. You
Makoto.
lost your memory? Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at school? The first thing? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke
That's
up, I was
right.
trapped here. I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself,
It would
a disconnect. Think back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. And at the time, I'd forgotten. I'd forgotten why I'd come to the school. I could remember what my ultimate ability was. But what made
Hey.
you forget all that? Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because... I don't think. I'm positive it's worth the mastermind, this still memory. But why would they want to do that? There's no words I can come up with. Because my purpose, my ability, somehow they would interfere with Mastermind's plans. So the Mastermind just stole them for you? And it could also mean somehow my memories may connect to the mystery of the school and the Mastermind, which is why I gotta get him back. That's why I'm investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you
is
ask us
that?
to help you? If I did that, and we all worked out as one, the Mastermind would have known us right away. Plus, there's a chance that the Mastermind is actually one of us.
Correct.
What? Well, I don't want to make too big of a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it's a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The Mastermind, one of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it would only make sense that she would look into the missing memory by
However-
herself. That being said, there's a limit on what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to come help me. Why me? Because among everyone, you're the least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but I see. I mean, your intuition's right though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I should.
I understand. I
My
should
goal
understand
isn't
everything.
To get out of here. It's to stay here.
It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that happen? Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just... I'm not used to relying on
Correct.
others. I know I've never asked you for help right away, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just personality. You said your reason for doing all that investigation on your own. So how'd it turn out? Were you able to remember
So-
anything? I think it's still odd I don't remember, but at the very least, I'll finally recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability. My ability, what everyone should have known me for, is that I am the ultimate detective. The ultimate detective? How could we possibly see that coming the way she inspects dead bodies, and inspects them very, very thoroughly, and solves the crimes completely instantly? Man! Yeah, what a plot twist. I really thought she was the ultimate fashionista. No, the ultimate cosplayer. She's the ultimate cosplayer.
correct.
And and that's where I skipped Coach to the Academy. There was someone I had to find here at school. You had to find someone too. Well, it was the headmaster of the Academy. The headmaster? Why do you want to find the headmaster? Because he is my father.
In other
What?
words,
I was separated from him as a child. Oh, so she didn't actually know him his entire life, her entire life. Never mind. Well. Oh well. My foreshadowing jokes don't work here anymore, but I'd say it still works. We'll go with that. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak's headmaster. That explains when Alter Ego told us he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way. No matter what it takes,
No matter
I will
what?
find the headmaster, no matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko, what's going on? You sound all serious and stuff. My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him.
However,
That makes sense. But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster was the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I stuck in the headmaster's room.
so
Then what'd you see in there? The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. My conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there.
It's
You mean
true.
the mastermind, right? That was my assumption, yes, and for my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some
Indeed.
kind of map? It's a layout of the entire Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room, along with Murko's profile and the key. The map showed the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check. And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a
However-
private room there. Once I got there, I noticed the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So, what was it like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I could say is, when I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined.
So
What do you mean? I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself. I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. Sounds like it must be important, and really ominous.
However,
Which is why I had no idea what was going on inside the rest of the building. That had to do with, Makaru Ishisaba,
However-
doesn't it? It's perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi.
Anyway.
So who did kill her? What I can say for sure is the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Murkuru Ikasaba was to get me killed.
indeed.
Killed. I stole a key and disappeared, and in retaliation, they want to draw me out and eliminate me. That was the point of the class trial. It was. The mastermind knew they couldn't directly interfere directly. You mean because of
That's right.
regulations? Exactly.
In other words,
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound
Hey.
by the school regulations. There's another thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Murkuru Ikusaba. And what's that? There was a point where Murkuru may not have been the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. It could have. I could have
Indeed.
become the victim. You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean during the night? I can hear them, you know? The footsteps of the God of Death. What? I can hear the God of Death as he moves. The ability naturally draws me into cases
Anyway.
just like this. Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorm rooms, and I suddenly had a sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
Correct.
I ran into your room, and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That was the other things, of course. I stepped on them. I stopped them. That led to where the master assailant was. They ended up dead.
correct.
And their murder was disguised in a dojo key round up my room. It has to be work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So, all this would mean that whoever killed Murkuru
Indeed.
is also the mastermind, right? I don't think conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use class trial to try to kill you because of
Correct.
current fear, right? You're right. That is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They didn't class trial to kill me, but they seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So,
In
what
other
does it all
words-
mean? It means the mastermind is the one who's been cornered.
Makoto.
Huh? Just a little more. A little more and I shall forget the mastermind's identity. The true identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt Mukuro was the ultimate despair, and that she is dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person.
Indeed.
It's not. If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicit whoever caused that event.
That's right.
You're talking about what happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in history. The tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that,
It would seem...
they're the ultimate despair. This despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair.
Indeed.
Then they're, make no mistake, they're the root of all evil that's forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. That is our real enemy. Alright. Alright, so that's gonna do it for this episode of Danganronpa here. I'll see you guys in the next one, which might be 2 parts, it might be 1. I have no idea. I don't know how long the class trial is gonna be, but really I don't know how long the 3 class trial phase is gonna be. It could just go straight to class trial, I have no idea. I don't remember. But yeah, I'll see you guys in that. Until then, peace.